Hey guys, Kyle here to reviewing set 75310, the Duel on Mandalore set. This set came out this August, comes with two minifigures and retails for €20. So, let's get into review. So, starting with the first minifigure in this set, we have Darth Maul, which is just incredible to get both Maul and Ahsoka in this set for so cheap as well. But as you can see there, it's just the double lightsabers, the normal lightsaber hilt, plus the two lightsaber blades, which really is unfortunate they didn't take advantage of that new Monkey Kid piece they introduced this year. Like, they could have seriously done it in silver. I think that would have made a lot of sense, but unfortunately LEGO just didn't do that. Which this model, I believe, is exclusive. I'm pretty sure anyway. This is obviously his appearance from Clone Wars Season 7, which is very shiny. I do like that. And also, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but this is actually gunmetal gray instead of the normal black that, like, literally every Maul figure in the past has had, which is a nice change of pace. You also get two of the Maul crowns at the top, and as you can see as well, his face is just kind of generic. I kind of wish they used the old smiley face, even though it's creepy as it looks. I think this would have like fit the scene a lot better, or at least an angry face or something, more than just this generic face. But yeah, all that said, let's take a look at the next and final minifigure in this set. So the next minifigure and last minifigure in this set is Ahsoka, which is based off her Season 7 design, which previously to this set could only be gotten in a €40 set, and even at that was pretty hard to get. So it's just really great to have both Maul and Ahsoka, two very expensive and obviously figures you need in your collection. It's just such a cheap set. As you see there as well, she does come with her two lightsabers, which I did do in like the normal way she holds them in the show. But if you remove them and remove, which I suppose a complaint of this minifigure, her headpiece, I cannot speak today, and her like headpiece, they do get stuck quite frequently, which does kind of suck. I don't know if the grip is just too tight or whatever. But if you take a look at the back, you have a very generic neutral face. And at the front, you kind of have an angry face. It just isn't really that angry. It's just sort of like mildly aggressive, I guess is the best way. Just like Maul, she also does have some shiny printing, but no arm printing either, which does make sense. This figure doesn't really need any arm printing. But if we put this back on, the headpiece, I don't know what the in-canon name for this is, but it's pretty accurate to the show, and it's just like all the other ones we get. But all that said, yeah, let's move on to the main build of the set. So obviously the main build of the set, since this is the throne room of Mandalore, is, well, it's the throne, which is a really nice build. I was at first skeptical if this was worth the 20, but in terms of pieces, you can definitely see, like, this is just a very bulky set. But it's also very accurate to the show, as it uses orange leaves for those weird lights you see in it. And I suppose in terms of accuracy as well, you can't really fumble the bag with this, to be honest here. It's literally just a throne, a grey wall with some lights, and a window, because in the show, the throne room in Mandalore is just a huge grey room with just a throne in the corner. But as you can see here, you can also sit a minifigure, which I have Maul, because obviously when he took over Mandalore, he would obviously sit on the throne. Take him out of there. As you can see, the throne is just very simple, but it also has this weird hidden compartment, which, if you take out here, it's just got a blaster, and it can come all the way out, but I don't want to take it out. Which, as you can see there, it's very hidden, kind of. I mean, that just is a dead giveaway, but if you don't really look at it from that side, you can just kind of see it's pretty hidden. Also, the windows do slap back. You just hit them like that, as they're on, like, these hinges, which is accurate to show, obviously, as I believe it's Maul that gets thrown out the window. It's been like over a year since I've watched Clone Wars Season 7, but I'm pretty sure Maul gets flung out, which obviously you can replicate with that. But overall, there's not too much else to say about it. But we do have a side build, which has probably the most detailed sticker in any LEGO set. This is obviously the... that's what you would call this. Like, it's that weird prison box that the Mandalorians make to put Maul in, which, as you can see, you can fit Maul in, or any minifigure, but it's meant to have Maul. As you can see, just like the show, you can see his eyes, but obviously but the lighting here is a bit iffy, so you can barely make it out. You also have a sticker here for a control panel, which is very nice. Overall, this is a very simple build, just a big gray box, which obviously in the show it's just a big gray box, so it's pretty accurate. But well, that said, let's take a look in the instructions. So let's take a look at the instructions, which are tiny. I don't know why they're this small. I guess they're trying to save up on paper, but as you can see, just an ad for the QR code. But at the back, just has the win with a robot. I still don't get why they changed it to a clone trooper. But interestingly enough, we have an ad for the Skywalker Saga. No release date though, but I'm betting that this game will release in 2022. I cannot see this releasing in 2021. Especially for like what, the last nearly 12 months, we've never seen any news on this. So it's probably delayed, which sucks. As you see here though, we just have a bunch of minifigures, which they accidentally included the minifigures from the Mandalorian Forge, which they do the same in Boba Fett's Starship, which, I mean, by the time these sets would have been released officially, obviously that set wouldn't have been announced, but obviously we've known about it for months because, well, LEGO just like to screw everything up. I mean, as they say, LEGO's greatest leaker is themselves. But here you have the minifigures from the Bad Batch shuttle, or the Havoc Marauder, I think they call it, which in the show it's not called that, but okay. Here as well you have Moff Gideon's Star Cruiser. It's either Starship or Star Cruiser. Here you have the Mandalorian shuttle, Boba Fett's Starship, which is a bit of a weird change. Name, obviously the Mandalorian Forge, Duel of Mandalore, and I forgot what this set is called, but it's that one scene from season 2 of The Mandalorian. Here as well, you have the Havoc Marauder, the Ahsoka tank, obviously the 501st Battle Pack, Duel of Mandalore, Anakin's Starfighter, or is it called the Jedi Interceptor? I mean, 2005 one it's called, which I did review that set a long time ago. And here as well, you have the Mandalorian Starfighter. I almost forgot the name for a second. Which is very interesting. They're showing off, like, Clone Wars era. Obviously, Bad Batch is after Clone Wars, but obviously just Clone Wars era stuff in general, which is very nice to see. But yeah, let's take a look at the packaging and final verdict. So the box obviously uses the very slender rectangular box they've been using for the dual sets, which my only complaint with this set is that it's not really a dual set per se, because you can't fit really both figures on the throne, I should say. It's just not enough space, you can barely fit them. But obviously here as well, you can see a Tree 22nd Trooper, or whatever they're called, Ahsoka's Trooper. Inside here is also, you have Ahsoka and Maul fighting. At the back, you have some play features, with Maul being inside the prison thing. And yeah, it was Maul that got thrown through the window, as you can see as well. And Maul sitting on the throne, which is pretty good. I mean, my only complaint about this set, again, not really too much plausibility with the figures fighting, but I mean, it is what it is. It still is a pretty nice build, especially of the throne room, which is definitely a very important scene in Season 7 of Clone Wars, and it's very nice to get it in such a cheap set as well, especially with Maul and Ahsoka, who are the cheapest, by the way. Like Ahsoka, before, even last year, was a 40 € set, and before that it's obviously more expensive. But this is, I believe, the cheapest way to get both of these figures. Well, at least this version of Maul anyway. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about this set. It's really good. I highly recommend you pick it up as well, just in case it falls out of stock. But I have noticed that this is in like a lot higher stock compared to something like Boba Fett's Starship, which is starting to sell out like wild, which is very interesting. But I suppose it is a cheap slave one. What you gonna do? But yeah, well, that's it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.